March 20th, 1981. Just another hellish day at high school. Back in detention after another violent scrap. You're the only one here. Principal Leach lets Michael Malafont and his fancy rich friends get away with murder. This started right after you were shipped here from foster care last fall. You can't explain the bad blood between you, but you can't stand these show-offs in their fancy clothes and sports cars. Just thinking about it makes your blood boil. You're still on cleanup duty at nightfall when the rest of the school arrives for the Dracula play. You return the map, but something smells off. You open the closet, and the janitor's blood-soaked body falls to the floor, fang marks on his neck. Somehow you sense more blood being spilled, and you rush to the stage. Backstage, Maleficent's crew dons capes and fangs. Fake blood drips from their faces, but something's not right. You are about to start another fight when the curtain rises, the light of the full moon washing over the stage. A costumed Maleficent sinks his teeth into a terrified student. But this is no act. You leap onto the moonlit stage, filled with bloodlust. The audience screams in terror as your body suddenly contorts, fur and claws expanding through your skin. The crowd storms the exit, all but one girl. Misty, the cheer captain, drops her pom-poms and pulls a silver crossbow from her back. The pain is excruciating, and yet it feels familiar. Your jaw unhinges, muscle elongating, and bone thickening. The rage you felt expands beyond your human mind, and finally, you feel whole. You sense every heartbeat, every ounce of blood in the room, and you know who isn't human at all. From the wings, Maleficent's crew of cretins show their fangs. You waste no time clawing another one down, snapping his starched collared neck and your jaw as a wooden stake impales his undead girlfriend. She screeches and explodes into putrid pieces. You tear into the hallway, chasing the rotten reek of your foe. You bust through a locker, decapitating the creature inside in one blow. Misty's crossbow finds another mark as she ushers the school librarian towards you. You are overwhelmed with the desire to eviscerate Miss Giles. As she approaches, she reveals a silver cross on her neck, and you feel suddenly subdued. She whispers in some ancient tongue, and somehow you understand you must protect her at all costs. She must get to the library. The librarian is clearly a witch. Her voice stays in your head as you escort her down the hallway. She is the guardian of the ancient book of the dead. If the vamps get their hands on it, they'll have the key to true immortality. The book can alter the balance between light and dark, day and night. You're a creature of the moon, protector of life, and the vampire is the undead aberration of darkness. Within the book are the keys to evoking eternal night. Maleficent's entire coven bursts through the rows of lockers. Misty takes aim as you drive straight into the fray, gutting your prey in a swipe, chewing their cold sinew as heads roll. With Mrs. Giles safely in the library, you set your sights on Maleficent, but suddenly, you're filled with searing pain. You spin around to find the principal pointing a silver gun at your heart, his eyes glowing unnaturally from the shadows. Silver is wolfsbane, the only known way to kill you. Your principal is no human, but he does not smell of vamp. He nods to Maleficent, who disappears to the library. The principal reveals his true demonic form as you feel the wolfbane burn you from the inside, and a streak of deadly silver singes into your fur. You stumble as your veins fill with a leaden weight. Misty unleashes a slew of stakes into the swarming vamps behind you. You sense Mrs. Giles calling you to the courtyard. She holds an ancient tome to her chest, chanting in the moonlight as the vampires swarm in. You claw your way forward to see Principal Leach whispering to Mrs. Giles, his demonic voice ringing in your head. Misty tries her crossbow, but is hit with a curse that drops her to the ground. She lifts up the librarian with ease, then slits her throat, taking the book from her helpless body. The vamps retreat before the dawn, leaving you all for dead. In wolf form, you understand the ancient language. The demons called her Blood Witch. He speaks of the end of day, eternal night. With the book stolen, there's nothing stopping him and his vampire army. Your rage ignites, and you force yourself to move. You lurch forward in your final breath, enough for the moonlight to reach your dying form. Mrs. Giles cannot speak, but you now hear her in your mind. Sanguinis Equinoctium. She has fulfilled a prophecy, and you surge with ancient preternatural fury. You're now the blood-silver wolf, a legendary, invincible force of nature, and the undead's worst nightmare. Before you, Misty awakens. She's in violent pain, her eyes dark with something sinister. You sense her blood blackening, and you bite down into her heart, releasing the curse within. You leave her bleeding as you go after your foe. The witch's words ring through your mind. Sanguinis Aquinoctium. The moon calls to you, and you revel in the cold light soaking into your veins. You have the power to end the night. You stalk the hallways with your deafening howl that now harnesses the light of dawn. The vampires scream, burning from the inside until they are dusted to ash. You exterminate the coven under the light of the equinox supermoon. Before you can reach him, the demonic form of the principal and Maleficent evaporate into shadow. But you know this is just the beginning. This class may be dismissed, but high school will always be hell. Returning to the courtyard in the safety of dawn's light, you find Misty holding Mrs. Giles' hand. She opens her palm, revealing matching symbols burned on their palms. This is the key to opening the Book of the Dead. So the vamps will be back, and when they come, you'll be ready.